That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Brian O'Halloran.
Jason David Frank.
Humberto Ramos.
Please do not change channel.
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin With Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter.
I'm Christian Basel, and I hope this doesn't go off where this is pointing right now. This might be kind of embarrassing. What?
Just saying. We're here at MegaCon 2018. We're on the floor over at the Orange County Convention Center, and we're hanging with cosplayer Anna Stasia. Anna, see what she did there? Wait for him.
I see what you did there.
Anna, thanks for hanging with us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Coming over. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. If you're part of geek culture on the web, you should know by now. If you don't know by now, spoiler alert, you look amazing.
Thank you.
You really do. Is it timing or is it a favorite character?
No, just timing.
Just timing.
I saw the promo photos and I was like,
I can do
that needs to be gender bend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's cable, guys. No, not DirecTV, cable.
I'm sorry, I hate it when I shave that high up on my brow and I get a little cut there. Just a wee bit. There's no piece of
how long have you been
paper you can put on it.
I have been cosplaying for a little over 5 years.
Wow. Why? I
Well,
love doing that. You do it like that in a very flat pan voice, and they kind of look at you like, oh no, what's it?
I don't know.
I don't know
Why?
why. It's the same question her mom asked the same day.
Right. No, I've always really liked creating, and I just was not in nerd culture at all. Like, I like sci-fi, but I wasn't in comic books and conventions and stuff like that. This, I wasn't. And then I met my husband, and he's like, "We have to go to MegaCon." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna make a costume. Everybody does that. Sweet," and got hooked.
That's all it took.
That's all it takes. Just
one convention.
One convention.
It's peer pressure. You have to cosplay when you get here. It's almost a rite of passage.
This is the geekdom's gateway drug. Come to a convention, and that's it. We've got you.
Yeah.
We've got you. Look, nobody hit her. Really, she did that to herself to look authentic.
Yeah, I hit myself.
Like hard.
This is commitment. This is
commitment. It took her 3 weeks. Once the stitches came out, it was still 2 weeks before it was right for the con.
Yeah,
when they say art hurts, this is what we mean by that.
I'm a method cosplayer.
So what other cosplays do you do then?
So I do tons of different versions of Harley. I like to mash Harley up with basically any character I'm thinking of. My most recent one was Wizard of Oz Harley. So Harley and Dorothy. And then I also do a lot of gender bends. So like I have this, I have Thor, I have Captain America.
We love that. For me, those are the most creative cosplays, are the gender bends and the mashups.
I like gender bends because you don't have to be screen accurate because the character's not female, so I can kind of do what I want.
It's valid.
Yeah.
In fact, Josh Brolin just called and said he wants him to look like that next time.
Yeah, I could be a stunt double.
See?
Nobody would even notice.
It wouldn't even. She would stand on her tiptoes. He would get on his knees. It would be just.
Yeah, it would be perfect.
They're like separated twins at birth, sort of, or born in different states.
And times.
Yeah, times.
What's your favorite role of cosplay that you've done so far?
Oh gosh. I really like doing the badass characters.
Okay.
But I'm gonna have to go with. I did a historically accurate Belle, and I felt so royal and regal, and it was different. So I really like doing that.
Like Princess
Yeah.
Belle.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Belle was gone.
Historically accurate Belle, pre-princess, is just dirty. France was not a pleasant
No, it wasn't.
place for the peasants.
But I was royalty, so
For the,
I was after I met the Beast.
after you met
After
the
I
Beast.
met the Beast, and I had like the big gown
Little
and
charm and
yeah.
yeah. There you go. What would you say is the most complicated cosplay that you do? What's the hardest thing to get together?
Well, for me, the props and armor and stuff like that is really hard. I've been sewing for like forever, so the sewing ones are pretty easy. But anything, like even this probably took me longer to put together than my historically accurate belt, which has like 25 yards of fabric incorporated into it. Yeah, so anything with armor and props and stuff like that.
An idea and a sewing needle and you're rocking it.
Good.
Give you the need for props and prosthetics and your...
Yeah. It's a little bit harder. That's why I do them.
That makes
Can't
sense.
get better if you don't do them.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have to continuously. It is an art form. It's a craft.
Yep.
And
Don't
learning
practice,
your
you don't get
craft
better.
and honing your craft is part of your art.
Yes.
And that's fantastic.
And you know what? I'm not disavowing my cosplayer friends because I think it's funny. It's just, they've known for a year that MegaCon's coming again, but they'll wait until the last month to go, oh, I got to put everything together, and I'll see it on their Facebook and their Twitter. I'm putting my stuff together right now. How long does it take for you to assemble a character like that? Like, what, you've known for a year
Well,
this is happening
you know what
now.
it does. It takes a long time to build a costume, to do a build out completely, right?
Yes.
So, for you personally, because we have a lot of cosplayers that we talk to, for you personally, what is Con Crunch? I mean, you built this stuff for a year, like he said. So, Con Crunch, what is that for you?
You don't build it for a year because usually a lot of us that are building it last minute, we just finished one for the previous con. So we don't have a whole year to work on it. We have from the previous con. Now for me, that was 6 months, and I still painted that gun last night. So
Con Crunch is like
that was
Con Crunch. It's like cramming for an exam in college.
Yes, it's
Con
staying
Crunch
up
is
until
like,
3 a.m.
I knew
It's
I
not a
had to
candy
write
bar.
this. I knew I had to write this paper for 6 months,
Yeah.
but it's due tomorrow.
Yeah.
So let's just go, right?
Yeah.
And all of our cosplayers are like that. I mean, even if you have an intricate costume, a cosplay that you've done before, somehow just the week before the con, there's that change or that tweak or that extra piece of armor.
Or you try it on and something didn't work, and you gotta fix
But
it.
I think
This
it's
happens to me a lot. I try it on. The problem is when I put things in the closet, they shrink.
Yes, I know.
There's
That's awful.
like a thing in the closet that makes my clothes shrink.
But I think it was difficult for any artist, going back to what you're saying, because anything you and I have both written, I've written plays, you've written things, and even when we put out the books, you know, the moment that they get issued, we were like, wait, I got one more thing to change. No, I forgot
The number
something.
of
So
times
I
that you
sympathize.
hit send and then you're like, oh hell,
Yeah, exactly.
and you pull it down and you do it again, and you know, how many conventions do you do typically through the course of a year?
Well, I used to do basically all of them. This year, however, I'm
All right, that number got so large that I think it's probably become
I
slightly
know, right?
prohibitive.
Okay, all of them in Florida.
Okay.
Let's narrow that down, yeah. All of them in Florida. So, like, last year I think I did 20. This year I will probably do between 4 and 6. Yeah. Toning it down a little bit.
A little bit more.
Yeah,
easier
reining it
schedule.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is the single best thing that happens while you're at a con? What do you enjoy most about doing this?
I like taking pictures with people, and I like when kids get really excited. Like especially when I'm not a kid character, but they know who I am and they get really excited to see it portrayed. Like this.
We talk a lot about the transition from subculture to pop culture, how comic culture has infused popular culture. More and more little people, more and more kids and teens recognize comic characters from television or Netflix or the movies or even YouTube or just places that they see them.
Yeah.
And so characters that you don't typically associate with kids, all of a sudden kids are like, oh my goodness. And I mean, there's an example, your cable today. And as much as the Deadpool movies, by admission for any grown-up, are not designed for our little ones.
Yes, definitely not.
They are going to be exposed to them in some way, shape, or form, even if it's, you know, it's going to be Deadpool 2 light through trailers and teasers and things on YouTube.
Yeah.
So they're going to recognize you.
Yeah.
And so even though Cable's not a character that they're going to necessarily associate with, they're going to be, I know who she is. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's an awesome moment right there. What's coming up next? What's your next con after MegaCon?
Oh gosh, after MegaCon, I'm not really sure. There's a couple of cons
There
I
are
might
convention
go
people
to.
out there right now. They're watching. They
I
want to know. Invite her.
Yes, yeah, I will be a guest at any convention, obviously. But which convention I'm going to for sure next, I'm not sure. I do know that I will be at Holiday Matsuri in December because
Awesome.
I love that con. It's like my favorite con ever.
Holiday, for those of you that aren't familiar, Holiday Matsuri, its roots are very much grounded in the anime community. However, I will tell you, in Central Florida the last couple of years, Holiday Matsuri is ground zero for cosplayers.
Yes.
It is, well, it's certainly not the scope of a MegaCon. It certainly is that way for cosplayers.
It's cosplay convention
It
with
is
a
a
bold
cosplay
text.
convention.
That's pretty
It's a
much-
cosplay convention with some anime.
Yeah.
It was an
It
anime.
really is. Yeah, it was an anime.
It was
with
an
some
anime
cosplay.
convention with some cosplay. Now it's a cosplay convention with a little bit of anime.
And it's super creative cosplay because everybody does like holiday versions of their
Christmas
cosplay.
mashup, man.
Yeah,
That's
so they do these
awesome.
mashups, and so they're so creative to see what characters and how they make them holiday or Christmas or whatever.
Yeah, and if
It's
you
really
if you
cool.
want to cosplay at Holiday Matsuri for the holidays, and you want to get involved in the holiday mashup, you got to do more than throw a Santa Claus hat on cable.
Yeah, no,
Because
like
these guys are bringing their A
you
game.
gotta like string up some lights and
Yeah,
like put a fur collar around here, make it Santa-like, you know.
Absolutely. That's our card telling us that that's our time. We have had a great time hanging with cosplayer Anna Stasia. I just like doing it that way. I can't help it. We're going to say thank you to our partners and friends. Christian, who do you think we ought to thank today?
These are my favorite weapon of mass destruction.
Wherever that phone came from. She's got a new friend.
Magazine, Famous Faces and Findings, Krypton Radio, iHeartRadio, Off the Chain with Arthur, Yvonne Mason, Space Ghost Comics, and the Sound Convention and Entertainment Services.
Those are fantastic people. They share these videos. They share all of these creative people all over the World Wide Web. We are happy to do business with them, and we're so happy to support them in any way we can. We are at MegaCon 2018, hanging with cosplayer Anna Stasia.
Really?
Yeah. And
If I don't get thrown on MegaCon,
as
I'm
we
in
say goodbye, remember everybody, go down and hit subscribe.
And that little bell thing.
Yeah, that too. Log on, tune in, see
who we're hanging with next.
Wow.